guys got us on YouTube, you're welcome to get her kicking.
I'd like to call to order the January 26th City of Mayville Public Safety Committee meeting. Please take the roll.
Alderperson DeBaker,
Here.
Alderperson Newman,
Here.
Alderperson Olson.
Here.
We have quorum.
Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
All right, item 3, approval of minutes of the November 24th, 2025 Public Safety Committee meeting.
I'll move to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Tim, second by Ken. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Any citizen comments?
My name is Rachel Smith. I reside at 4 South Main Street, Mayville, Wisconsin. Good evening, Mayor, when you get back, and chair people, council members, older people. I'm sorry, I always forget what I should call you. Thank you for allowing me to make a citizen comment. So over the past year, since my husband and I moved our business to Main Street of Mayville, first I want to say how much we love it here and how much we want to be involved in what I believe is the continued just getting better of things. I see that happening all the time, and so I wanted to thank you for all your hard work for that. I am here to address a parking issue that I see, I have seen since I moved here, and the reason why I feel it's important to speak up about it at this precise time is because of the 10-year plan that's being organized, discussed, worked on. But also, I did notice recently as well that there was a call for a committee that included some experts and some citizens to address some issues in town. So for those 2 reasons, I thought the timing to be really good to bring this up. What I have noticed, of course, as other people have, is limited spaces, inconsistent signage, unclear restrictions, congestion, frustration, and missed opportunities for businesses like mine to make and maximize our impact. The parking challenges, I believe, make downtown less accessible and welcoming for visitors and tourists. And so I believe bringing this up is consistent with the things that the city of Mayville is trying to address right now. So during peak times, cars often circle multiple blocks searching for available parking. Customers have reported leaving without making their intended purchases because parking wasn't available or events made access impossible. Visitors and tourists have experienced parking difficulties and occasionally even safety concerns. So I've taken some time to look over approaches used in similar sized communities and guidance from the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation. And it notes that most downtown parking challenges stem from how spaces are managed and communicated rather than a lack of parking. I think in Mayville we have all 3. So effective solutions include clear wayfinding, visible signage, targeted studies of usage patterns, and I've referenced the WEDC publication posted online on August 14th, 2024. I can give you access to that if you need. But in Mayville, past studies on the Wisconsin Main Street recommended updating signage and improving visibility. And I think that those recommendations are really relevant to what the 10-year plan and what Mayville's trying to do with the tourism and different things. So what I'm suggesting is that current parking spaces could be optimized through improved signage and digital resources. I'm asking you guys to consider larger or brighter signs where permitted, to adjust signs to face parked cars, to replace worn or dulled signs, to add or improve signage directing patrons to city lots. By providing the above request as well as a simple interactive digital map of the city's public lots, limited spaces, and short-term parking, we can improve visitor confidence in downtown circulation. I'm referencing the city of Platteville, Wisconsin has an excellent sample of a digital parking map. And if you would compare that to what's available for Mayville on the police department website, you can see that it would be an immediate improvement. I'm asking very specifically for you to reinstate the short-term parking spaces that used to exist on Bridge Street for a different business. I believe that that would be extremely helpful. And then I have printed out for you a sample, a picture I just downloaded from Google Maps. And I'll hand this over, but you can see how the Nature's Way has similar short-term parking posted in front of their building. So to me, it's asking for fair treatment on my side of the street of something that already exists on the other side of the street.
That wasn't put there by the city, by the way.
Oh, perfect. Well, I do believe that if you look back in other meetings, that Bridge Street did used to have parking for a business that already existed. I'm just asking to reinstate what already was there. And then I also printed out a picture where you can see if you just look as if you were a person parking, there's no visible signage that it's 2-hour limit posted. They all face like the driving side, and some of them are worn out or not really very bright anymore because they're older. All done?
Sorry.
5 minutes.
You're okay.
5 minutes.
Okay. So can I just close my,
5 minutes.
okay.
Yeah, we
It
will
says
be,
the chair can let you have an
Yeah.
extension.
yeah, we'll give you 1 more minute.
Okay, perfect.
Seconds.
So I believe these recommendations should be existed to use existing city resources and partners that are experienced in downtown economic development. I believe that this should be included as a part of the city's 10-year planning strategy. And so I'm just asking you to support local businesses, protect residential quality of life, and plan for parking situations that invites future investors, visitors, and residents to experience a vibrant and welcoming downtown. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Tony, can I say something too real quick? I think the community authority, no, community development,
CDA.
CDA, thanks. I know they're redoing the website.
Mhm.
And I know that was one of those, you said digital parking, that might be part of that whole website rehab.
We can certainly try, we've got it on the agenda further down for downtown parking.
Yeah, so
if
it's,
we want to
yeah.
spearhead some ideas.
Just want to let you know where that was at quickly, because I'm all for that. And I do like the 10-minute parking, because I used it on Sunday to park and run across the street, get espresso beans. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Number 5, discuss with possible action monthly police department report to the public safety committee.
Good evening.
Hello.
Start out with a couple of statistics. For 2025, the police department had a total of 4,846 calls for service. And year to date, since the beginning of the year, we're at 355 calls for service as of tonight. So we've been busy, continue to be busy. Detective Petrak is back starting today, so he's got a kind of a modified duty assignment, but it's nice to have him back and get going on some things that we really need him to start working on again. So that being said, we've also got an anticipated retirement coming up in March. So we just started recruitment for that open position that we expect to have in March. With posting on Wiley and a couple other places for a police officer position. So we'll start taking applications and hope to get the ball rolling with interviews and more of the process, probably mid to end of February. Also, we have an open part-time administrative assistant position, but we've been talking with a couple of people that are already kind of doing that role that might be interested in helping us out. So looking forward to hopefully getting that taken care of to help Judy out. And the last 2 things I have are regarding grants. We submitted the video grant and I got an emailed response that they received it. So have yet to heard or hear anything more on the grant other than just the acknowledgement that it was received. And then our traffic grant deployments began this month, so we've had a couple of deployments, so you might see us out doing some traffic stops various times during the day, so we've got that going again. Any questions?
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, 5B, monthly EMS report to the Public Safety Committee.
All right, good evening. So end of the year, we ended at 1199 for calls service. With the additional territory, we ended kind of where we thought we would be. To date, we're about 98 calls into the year. We're expecting to average between 120 to 130 a month with the additional territory. So I will have more reports to come hopefully next meeting to kind of show you where we're at. I haven't received all the final reports from our building company. You may have seen, but we put out in the paper a press release about the new territory and how we're going to be having open houses. Our first one is going to be tomorrow at the town of Thressa from 4 p.m. to 6:30. We're just going to be bringing our ambulances, our people, our medical controls coming out just so that we can start to meet some of the people and they can meet our crews. And then the second one is going to be this Thursday at the Village of Lamira, right at their municipal building. And the last one will be Village of Thressa on February 11th. So maybe I will forward those if you guys can push those out a little bit at the city if you don't mind. Again, like I said, we're still pretty busy. We've knocked on wood with as cold as it's been. We've had a few things, but it hasn't been horrible. We also have WEMSA coming up, so that's our Wisconsin EMS conference will be coming in February, which is, well, next week already. We're sending instructors. We're going to be teaching classes up there through our training center. They asked us to come back and teach again this year. They're expecting like 300 to 500 students, high school students to come through for student days. So we're able to show our instructors and our training center, which helps us bring more people in. We just received our power load cot today. It will be installed next week. So then all 4 ambulances, again, will have power load cots, which really helps us with injuries, especially if we're running 2-man crews. That was paid for through our FAP funding, which is Wisconsin, we can apply for it through EMS and we get money back from the state to help with certain things. So education, equipment is one of the things that we can use it for. This year, 2026 is going to be a license renewal year, which is a pretty big year for us because this is the first time that we went from 2-year renewal to 3. So we're just kind of, our training is going to be focusing on whatever's left to get those renewals done. We also submitted for the radio grant around the same time as the PD and it was received. Devin attended last week at the county. They had vendors come in to show us new radios, kind of what they have to offer. They talked about the upgrade at the radio project for the county, which is going to be a very, very large project and very expensive. So hopefully we will get this grant to kind of help a little bit. Our EMT class is full. So we actually just got another person. We had a meeting this afternoon. They're starting February 10th. Because of us having such limited space at the station and we're going to be up to 18 people, we are going to have to move our class over to the library. So we did go and tour it. It will do for what we need. It's a beautiful place. So you know, they've been very kind to work with us because it is going to be after hours. So right now, that's what we're going to use. It's going to be a little bit of shuffling, but we just don't have enough space to be able to hold. But then we don't want to turn these people down. So because we have a lot of surrounding communities sending EMTs through this class. So we also did hire 4 people. We're waiting for backgrounds and physicals. One is strictly going to be an instructor because we've gotten requested for additional like first responder classes from as far as 2 Rivers. Yes, as far, and so we're just getting requests for classes left and right, and I'm running out of instructors to be able to do them. So he was actually my EMT instructor when I first started, so it's a little weird. We also hired 3 additional that will be running, and 1 will be another instructor, but also running EMS. So it'll help. We have 2 more that have called and asked about applications, and wanting to apply, and we will take people who are licensed, because they can pick up, and so it makes life a lot easier.
I got a question.
Yeah.
So for the radio grant,
Yes,
you put one in, the police department has put one in.
Yep.
Is that gonna interrupt or wreck the chances for either
No.
or?
no,
Is there anybody else, like, does the fire,
yeah,
and they're gonna do the same
they
thing?
already did, yeah,
All
so each department had to do their own.
Each
That's what was-
agency, yeah,
each
it was
agency, yeah,
required by
sorry,
the
had to do
grant that each agency individually apply.
All right,
had to do their own. So it's 50,000, up to 50,000, Jeremy, or was it 50,000?
That'll be up to 50,000.
Up to 50,000, so it's a good chunk of change, it'll buy us a couple radios are not cheap. What Devin told me from what he saw at the county, he said it's gonna be a lot of money. So any little bit helps, in my opinion, so. And then the second part, did you want me to stay up here for this, about the flights?
Sure.
Any questions about update?
I did read that about the flights and
Yeah.
and that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, so the mayor, somebody contacted the mayor, I asked Lieutenant Johnson to sit with me because he is also a pilot and does other flights through the veterans and other things, right? Yeah. So, and I don't know a lot about this section of it, so it was great that he was able to sit in. So basically, I think the email got attached, but it was a good conversation. They've been around since 1979. They've done about 1,300 flights. They have currently 350 pilots that volunteer their time. So what this is if you have somebody that maybe has a child that has to go to another state to have tests, to have visits, things done, they fill out an application, it gets sent to this place, and then they will approve them. Very rare, they have not turned anybody down. So it's a great program. One stipulation is that they have to be stable, meaning you can't send a nurse, you can't send a paramedic. They have to either go with, if it's a child, they can have up to 2 parents or guardians go with them. If it's like an adult, they can have 1. They'll go 1,000 miles one way. If the flight's over 1,000 miles, then they have another place that they can intercept called Angel Flights that will continue the trip. They also do humanitarian trips, so they do supplies to places that need them. They bring an option, or something they brought up is they had a service dog that they flew for a person that couldn't travel to get it. So it's an amazing program. I mean, it's all volunteer, it's all donated, there's no money that goes to them at all. So in fact, Jeremy was looking at signing up to be a volunteer. So I think it's important for us to get the word out. The referrals need to come from their doctors too, before they'll approve it. So it's just something I think good for the community, and communities to know with Juneau being right there, it would be an easy task to do. So this is all fixed wing, no, not emergency helicopter, anything like that. This is just basically helping for additional things that people might need. So they're called the Lifeline Pilots is what they're called. So I think there's a brochure that Annie attached, so there's some information. I think it's really awesome that they do it. So just something to keep in mind. So if anybody ever asks.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Julie.
You bet.
Annie, is that something we can put on the website or?
Yep, we can definitely get it on the website.
All right, 5C, monthly fire department report to the Public Safety Committee.
I do not have anything from Chief Engel or Deputy Chief Thorson. However, as we discussed, the one thing I can let you know is that their radio grant was submitted on time.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
All right, 5D, discuss with possible recommendation, change of alcohol beverage appointed agent for Quick Trip, number 336, located at 121 North Main Street. Agent information, Crystal Tense, Juneau.
We get these from time to time when they just change managers. Background past.
I'll make the recommendation.
I will second.
Recommended by Ken, second by Kim. All those in favor say aye.
I
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, discussion regarding downtown parking. So it sounds like that we have some room for improvement with our parking. I think a good place to start would be, if I'm out of line, say so, but I don't think businesses should be claiming parking spots. As you said, that business down there, that's them putting up those signs?
I'm not sure who put it up, but someone did, and it wasn't the city.
It wasn't the city, so
Which
that's
sign
a
are you
problem.
talking about?
Natural way. Across from Natural way.
That 10-minute one? I thought the city did that.
Lieutenant, did we put that sign up?
I thought we approved it. I'm sorry.
They were done, I'm not on the committee, but they were done before the ownership changed, when it was still owned by before the vitamin lady moved in there, is when they were put up, with the ramps.
No, it was when.
No, it was during
This is a sign that
During
says
COVID, they put it up.
10-minute parking.
Oh, yeah,
for the
okay.
natural way.
But I thought we approved that.
Not that I know.
I think we did.
I'm pretty sure we did.
I'd have to go back, but I think I was in that meeting.
All right, well.
Anyway.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah, so where do we want to go with this? I know a few years back, somebody had done, it was Don Gint that counted all the parking was available, so on and so forth. Because we are restricted for more room in the city of Mayville, we need to address for shoppers to have parking, number one. And number two, in the future, in the back of our minds, I think we're gonna have to get a parking garage or something somewhere.
Mayville City Hall's always open parking.
Me back here.
Oh, right up in front. I've never had a problem parking downtown ever. Just all matter of how much you wanna walk.
Yeah, that too.
So,
And I think signage is important to your point. I mean, you know where you can park, right?
yeah,
People who live here know where we can park. But if you aren't from here,
that's a problem.
so I think we should establish our public parking, make sure the signage is good. Or there's a sign at all stating that it's public parking. And just take a look at signs around downtown.
What is this digital thing? I'm not sure what that's about. You brought up digital.
You can go onto like the Platteville's website. I had it here.
I'll look at it when I get home.
Yeah, yep, it's pretty good.
I'm curious.
And I was part of the WEDC came and worked with Main Street Mayville and like kind of did a study of the area. And then a recommendation they included in their study was, you know, the signs for the public parking lots being bigger, better, bolder. So it was like, you've done a partial study, but it would be great to have some kind of a study like you're doing for the, like what does Mayville need for healthcare? Like how you have constituents and experts and like, it'd be great to have a committee that could study the parking, that could maybe do some research, not at a great expense or anything, but maybe make some recommendations, because to me, it feels like it really should be attached to that 10-year plan. It should be thoughtful and a little more extensive than a meeting here.
You say 10-year plan, you mean a
Oh,
30?
the comprehensive
The
plan?
comprehensive.
Yeah,
sure.
so that's already completed. Yeah, we use that as a guiding document, so they wouldn't put any concrete things in there.
Mhm.
But certainly this is something, you know, if you guys wanted to send to CDA about signage and things like that and starting there. Studies unfortunately do usually cost quite a bit of money. So that would be something, you know, the council would have to weigh if that's something worth budgeting in future years, you know, compared to some of the other needs of the city. But I, you know, if you're willing to take my opinion, I think CDA would probably be the first step to see.
Okay.
And they can approach council for
Mhm.
money.
Yep.
Ask for studies. That's where you go. But there is a nice white, blue sign that says parking this way and parking that way that I noticed actually this weekend when I was coming back into town, because I always think about Main Street and what we can do better. I just noticed that. They're both pretty well marked, but you know, for being out of town, that's always nice. It's always nice to roll up and go, oh, I didn't even notice that sign, because there's a lot of signs, but obviously that it does show, you know what I mean, hey, parking behind the buildings, so.
It would be
I-
interesting to include WEDC because they do a lot of Main Street
Right,
things. And when they talked about maybe those signs compared to
Yeah.
other districts, they did note the size and the bold. Improvement.
Oh, yeah.
That was all.
Absolutely.
Is it okay if I make a comment? It seems like I used to own a couple buildings down there.
Yeah,
In fact, I owned hers. At one time, we brought this up, this was a big deal, the parking and the signs and the 2-hour signs and having enough. And we were told by Public Works that the aluminum poles we have will not support having the wind pressure on these. I know it sounds a little kooky, but at the time, they said we're limited as to the number of signs and the height and so forth we can have and the size of them on the poles downtown. And that was a big discussion. I don't know how much, but for that reason, we couldn't do a lot with signage downtown back, what was it, 12, 15 years ago. So and the poles are the same, so I don't know what the deal is. You remember that, Mayor?
No, I do remember though that Main Street Maple did come through and they did talk about signage and how it's important that when you're coming in on all ends of the town, that you have, you know, arrow signs that point them in the right direction, and that we were lacking in that
Yeah.
area.
I'm just saying, somebody should check to make sure that we're not restricted. I know we're restricted to the lights, to the decoration we can put up and everything else because of these poles. It's something to do with the bolts on the base or something. Anyway, somebody check into that,
Wasn't that weight? Were they gonna have it for weight?
I guess, I don't know. But I remember we couldn't,
Well, I think a lot of it too now, like most people, if you're coming from out of town, most people are using Google Maps. And most of the time, you know, I've seen other communities where they have like the city parking lots are made sure they're put in that map that this is the parking spot, or this is a parking lot, or this is a parking lot. So when you are coming from out of town, you can pull it up and it's already on your phone. Oh, there's a parking, there's parking, there's parking.
There you go. Good idea.
Just want to make sure
I can
Google,
look into that.
Do you currently have a sign that says loading zone on the Bridge Street side?
Mm-mm.
No.
used to be, but then they painted the curb yellow.
And that's, yeah, like, I know that there were things in the past that would have made that much easier, like that already existed. So,
well,
yeah,
you can't have a, there's not a ramp there by your shop. Like a,
mhm.
you know why?
I do,
Yeah,
yeah.
so there was a problem with that
Yeah.
when they redid the whole thing, and so we couldn't put a ramp there.
And customers do talk about it, and that corner is so dangerous. And of course, I'm serving ice cream and I'm watching people with strollers, and I'm just like, oh my God, you know, like, I think that's why I'd really like a committee or somebody like to dig in. I would be a volunteer, of course, obviously. I would love to. And at the end of the day, if it's like, this is the best it gets and there's no grants to help with new signs and there's no this and there's no that, at least we've done research, right? Like, at least we've tried, at least we've been thoughtful and took some time and.
So if you are interested in a committee, think about it. I don't know where to take it from there.
Well, you can talk about it now, I guess. What kind of committee? A parking lot committee or downtown parking committee or?
Yeah, I think so, right? Just downtown parking.
Or would you prefer to start with CDA and see what they can come up
We
with,
could.
because they are an
Yeah,
existing
I would get
committee?
involved at the CDA level,
Sure.
go to their meeting and give them input.
All right, I'm okay with that.
Well, then move it, make a motion, move it to
I'll make a motion
CDA.
to move this to CDA about the parking.
I'll second.
All right, motion by Kim, second by Ken, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ken, second by Kim. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned.
I didn't finish, but that was kind of my talking points and then the
All
picture.
right, we're
Who's
just
the
going
very-
Bob.
Okay, we're gonna call the Public Works Committee to order at 6:38.
Alderperson Smith,
Here,
Alderperson Baker,
Here.
Alderperson Vignon is
Have a good one,
excused. We have
Rachel.
quorum.
Thank you, sir.
Item 2A, item 2, approval of the minutes. Approval of minutes for November 24th, 2025. Have a motion for that. Is
Move to approve the minutes.
there a second? I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Uh, Item number 3, citizen comment. Are there any citizen comments for Public Works? Discuss with possible action, monthly tag center report to the Public Works Committee. Was there anything submitted?
We've got John.
Oh, Jonathan. Oh, yeah, you're still there.
Probably my last one.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad to say
That's
it,
okay, thank you, by the way, just thank you.
for being my last one,
Yeah,
finally.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
They have to listen to me.
yeah, thank you.
So, okay.
That's a cheap shot.
He's all right, he knows where he's going. It should be, it's a congratulations, thank you.
It's all good. I'll make a really quick, easy report for you this month. Glad to say I don't have, it's gonna be a boring report. That's
All
the
right.
good thing out there. It's been really busy, weekends, crazy with the pool right now. Fitness center's been really, really busy. All our winter programming has been doing really well. Swim lessons start next week. They weren't even able to sign up for a day and a half, and pretty much most of them were filled up, so they go really fast. That starts tomorrow night. That's Tuesday and Thursdays for 8 weeks. We had, glad to report this, minimal breakdowns last month. Even with the cold weather, I mean, our furnaces are having a hard time keeping up in some of the areas. But they are holding. The only repairs that we needed to do were a boiler went down. Ended up finding out it was a water supply line that came into it. Able to have that fixed, and then one of our rooftop units went down, not totally down. A gas valve had to be replaced on that. Our pool was kept at only 10 degrees. It was 10 degrees colder than it was supposed to be, which it wasn't terrible yet, but so that was all done. And everything is, I don't want to say anything, I don't want to say it too loud, but everything is holding its own out there right now.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood, absolutely. This weather has been brutal, so. And then February 16th, as you all know, the new take center director will be starting, Jessica Lumens will be starting at the take center.
Did you get a bid on the sealing the mortar?
Yep, got a bid in, and yep, got that all in, and I'm not sure when that is gonna be talked about or discussed. I just sent it over to Annie,
Okay.
and so, yep, that is ready to go.
Okay. All right. Any questions for John on his last?
Well, I'd like to thank you for all your hard work and dedication to the Tag Center and everything else.
Yeah.
You've done a great job out there.
If Jacob needs a time away, then I'll come down for him and help him a little bit. You know, some of the meetings or when he has his little one.
What?
What?
Yay.
Monthly Department of Works report from the Public Works
Broadcast all over the internet.
Committee.
There you go, baby.
That's all right. So DPW report. Obviously, it started off the winter with a pretty heavy snowfall. So then late December, I ordered 300 ton of salt. That came in already with no problems. And now recently, last week, I ordered 250 ton of salt, and we are in a shortage. So we're not sure when we're gonna see it, but we have about 400 to 500 ton in the sheds right now yet, so we should be fine for quite some time. If it does come down to it, we'll end up having to do like a spot salt, so we'll do around the schools, hills, intersections, sharp turns, stuff like that.
How many,
but,
how many tons do you go through when there's a snow event?
I mean, it varies, like, when we have our 1-inch snowfalls, we probably go through, call it 11 to 15. I think it was just a 1-inch down and back type salting, because like that's what most of our snowfalls is better, is your little 1-inchers, so we're just salting rather than plowing. But like our bigger ones will go through 20, I would think.
Okay,
But, other than that, over the December months, we put all new LED lights into the shop to get rid of some of the old ones, try to save a little bit of money that way. So we got it all brand new inside. Fingers crossed, through our plow season so far, we haven't had no major breakdowns, and hopefully that stays the same. Our chipper, I know we talked about quotes a while back during probably November-ish, maybe October. We just got that as of yesterday. Our new chipper came in yesterday, so we'll start going out and doing all our tree trimming stuff since we actually have a functioning chipper now. So that's good. Other than that, it's been pretty cold obviously the last few weeks, so we've been doing a lot of inside work. We're trying to reorganize all the stuff and get rid of some of the miscellaneous stuff that's been sitting around for a few years. Over by Forest and Green Bay Drive, Town and Country put in a new culvert, I believe in the middle-ish of December when we had that warm spell. And then also during that warm spell we had in December, the crew went around and did a round of cold patching, since there ended up being a lot of puddles that popped during the cold, whenever it came warm right away. And then we also did pick up as much leaves as we could that was visible after the snow melted. We'll go around again in spring if need be, if we miss them. But we did get majority of all the leaf piles that weren't picked up when it snowed in November. So,
No tree explosions, all right?
not that I know of.
Have you had much problem with the drifting over by the golf course and some of those places?
We haven't heard much more at the golf course, but up on like High Street up there, and then by the tech center, we got to swing through it every once in a while. We'll check it usually once a day, see if it needs it, and if it does, then we'll just hit it and go away.
And you're paying attention to St. Mary's Hill, I suppose.
Correct. Yep.
Good.
Yep. Any other questions?
All right, thanks, Jake.
Thank you, Jake.
I guess
Might
this
as
is-
well give them the parks.
Oh, yeah.
Bring it back for park.
Yep.
Jake.
I'm right back.
All right, so for the Parks report, kind of really almost the same thing. The hockey rink, we've been working on that during this cold quite a bit, trying to bring it back to where it was before we had the warm spell. We were out there for a little while yesterday trying to do some finishing touches on it. Up at the pavilion, we did some painting. We painted the kitchen downstairs as well as the entryway in the main entrance upstairs. Obviously the snow events, Fuzzy will shovel the bridges. And then he also shovels hockey rink for us, so that makes it a lot easier. Since I have the summer kids 3 days a week, they do go around town throughout the week and pick up brush for us to make it easier. When it comes to our once a month brush pickup like it is right now until April or May. I'm also working right now on getting quotes for our new skag mower that we were offered. And then really cleaning up pavilion and senior center. Pavilion has been busy for rentals. Senior center has been a little slower, but either way, the senior centers, or there are seniors in there playing cards 3 days a week, so it's always gotta be clean and Meals on Wheels every day, so always maintenance to do in there. Then we cleared out brush along the Ziegler Trail and then the Ziegler Woods itself from the softball diamond. So then instead of losing a bunch of softballs, we cleared it out a little bit to try to hopefully find a few more to save some expense on softballs through the rec league. Since that is expensive.
Any frozen pipes anywhere?
Not right now.
Good.
I think we made it through, but we should be good. I got the pavilion and senior center a little more warm, and I have the fans downstairs blowing into the back bathrooms to keep the warmer air circulating, so we should be golden.
How much are we utilizing at senior center?
As in for rentals,
Yeah,
during winter time, maybe once a month. I know like February there's 0, but come graduation season, it's usually 3 times a month. And then holidays, I'll get 1 or 2. I would say it's pretty close to about it.
Okay.
Okay, any questions for Dick?
That was a question.
I know. Any other questions? Oh, there are other people
All right,
here besides you.
right.
Thanks, Dick.
Thanks, Jake.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Any second for that? I'll second it. All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
I'd like to call to order City of Mayville Finance Committee meeting, January 26, 2026, 6:52. Can you take the roll?
Alderperson Newman,
Here?
Alderperson Smith,
Here,
Alderperson Henkel. Here, we have a quorum.
Number 2, approval of the minutes. 2A, approval of the minutes, November 24th, 2025, Finance Committee meeting.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Citizens' comments? Finance, none. Seeing none, move on to 4. Discuss with possible action 4A, leasing of city-owned forestry property for bow hunting rights.
All right, I put this on here.
Yeah, I know nothing about it, so
All right.
speak up.
So up by, in North Industrial Park, we own a bunch of land going towards, behind the wastewater treatment plant and along the river. And the guy approached me about buying all that. And I said, I don't know if he would be interested in selling it. But then we talked about maybe potentially leasing out the rights. And I said, well, if that's the case, we'd probably take, RFPs, if anybody wanted to lease out that land. And he said he'd be interested. And then I thought maybe we could do a couple different parcels, but when you look at the map more closely, you can only really do one parcel on the whole thing. And you can have access off of the Slag Road or access off of the North Industrial Park power line to get back in there. So if that's something that there's interest in, I guess, then I can come back next month and show you a map of what we're looking at. I think you can generate probably $2,000 to $3,000 a year. Could probably do like a 3-year lease. We can limit the number of hunters, per acre.
How many acres is it?
I'd have to take a look, but I think it's closer to 40.
Any liability in the city if we do that?
Well, we make sure we have them sign the proper paperwork that, release of liability and all that stuff.
Okay.
If someone gets hurt back there.
2 to 3 year lease, and you said what kind of revenue? $3,000?
$2,000 to $3,000.
2,000 to 3,000, just for bow hunting, not
I don't know that much. I lease my land out for, I give it to hunters for bow hunting and gun hunting. But they use tree stands. Would these be tree stands in there too?
Well, I think that's why you would do a 3-year lease, that they could put your stands back there and
Yeah.
then have it rebid after 3 years.
How would you, right now I only have 2. They're always fighting all the time about that's my tree or that's my deer or whatever. How would you control it? How would you dole that out to these?
Well, we'd have the map and you'd, bid
Pick
on
an area?
the map of the area, and we'd have it in there that you can only have so many hunters in that area.
Okay. Just bow hunting.
Just bow hunt, or crossbow.
Well, I think it's a great idea if you can figure out a way to manage it. I don't know. Sounds like it might be a,
What's the same as a farmland, right? We just take out our.
I know, but then
Bid it out.
I police it by having people complain. How would you complain? The problem is, I get somebody who comes over there and says, I want to hunt on your land. I said, I already got 2 hunters. Well, then somebody's hunting without permission, and the 2 hunters say, hey, there's this guy, we got to kick him out.
So if someone's got hunting rights on there and they have a lease agreement with us and someone's trespassing, then they call the cops, say, hey, this guy's trespassing.
I know, okay. I'm just wondering how you're gonna decide whether they have tag on that says I'm a hunter, approved hunter?
Well, the name will be on the lease,
Bunny rabbits.
right? And he'd have to, on the lease would be the names of who's gonna be hunting on there,
Okay.
right?
40 acres is a lot, though. That's a lot of land. I'm okay, but this, I just don't, it might be a management, would you have parks manage this, or public works, or just the cops, or what?
What do you mean manage it? It's an RFP. We take requests for proposals, right? Whoever bids on it, that's who we give the contract.
Oh, I mean the hunters, but that's okay.
I don't have, I'll give you an example. We lease out our farmland, right? We have a farmer that leases it. We
Right,
don't have
the
another,
same farmer I
we don't
am.
have another farmer come across the
No,
corner and
no.
say, hey, I'm gonna farm this now.
But you're talking about, this is not a farmer growing crops and planting and.
Oh, it's hunting.
And see, this is
The same,
a bunch of hunters.
right, same concept.
The one parcel, one person gets it, one person signs a lease and say, my family wins it, then my 5 family members are the ones who are allowed to hunt it.
Right. And they put their name on a piece of paper saying who can hunt it.
Okay.
And we have it on file and someone trespasses.
Oh, so only one group is gonna win this?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
Right, I thought we could do 2 parcels, but when
You
you
can't
look.
do it, can't do that, 2 parcels.
What's that?
You said you can't do the 2 parcels.
No,
But
because on
that's
Highway Y that goes to Kokoski, you're kind of landlocked there, because that other farmer's got it right up to the bridge, so there's no way really to get across to our property without trespassing, basically.
Okay, so it makes sense what Jake says, it'd be like a family.
Yeah.
And their friends, their group wins the hunting rights,
Right.
yeah, that would make sense. I'm just having trouble figuring out how I don't like control, I don't like babysitting these hunters.
Well, yeah, I'm not babysitting nobody.
Anyway,
Yeah, come back with your,
Come back,
yeah, come
All right.
back.
yeah,
bring
All
it
right.
back.
okay,
And they can use it all year, however they
Just-
want?
Just bow hunt.
Well, hunting season,
Okay.
which would typically be from September, first week of September, right, until.
I think there's 2 different seasons based, depending.
No, it's like first week of September until like January.
Okay.
Like, I think hunting season's actually officially over at the end of this month.
Yes.
So in other words, nobody should be on there outside those months?
Right.
Okay,
And we could state that in the lease agreement as well.
okay.
So
You're
there's-
not leasing it for.
you're looking for like a family or a hunting club to lease it, or to,
Well, typically, I mean,
yeah, okay.
who knows, you might have a guy saying, hey, I'll lease it, and I got a couple buddies or whatever.
All right. How about number 5?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor?
All right.
Night.
We are adjourned at 7 o'clock. Thank you.
Okay, call to order the Mayville Personnel of the Whole Committee, January 26th at 7 PM. Take the roll call, please.
Alderperson Henkel. Here. Alderperson Baker. In the whole.
I am here.
Alderperson Smith.
Here.
Alderperson Newman.
Here?
Alderperson Olson.
Here.
Alderperson Liebnow is excused. We have a forum.
Any citizens' comments? Hearing none, can I have approval for the minutes?
I'll make a motion to
November
approve the
24th.
minutes. Sorry, from November 24th.
Yep,
I'll second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Discuss with possible action recommendation, the City of Mayville Employee Handbook Update Process.
We left off on chapter 3.
Yep. Chapter 3, you guys got your books?
No, I forgot.
Well, it sucks to be you.
Yeah, sure does. Does anybody have theirs?
do
I got
not-
mine. This section 3 is pretty short. So the first section is pay arrangements and pay period. And we have on there that the payroll is processed every 2 weeks. We're gonna subtract out the paid on Friday, employees will receive their pay stub. And we're gonna put with paycheck deposits every other Friday. We're good with that, right? That's how we pay them now?
Yes.
Anybody see any problems with that? Payroll deductions, we're gonna keep that as is.
The one thing I would suggest adding into
Oh.
there is WRS, since we have mandatory deductions in there, that full-time employees or anyone over the, 1,040 hours
Yeah.
has mandatory WRS deductions, not that they can opt out.
And do we need to say anything?
What, union dues? We have union dues deductions, right?
For the PD,
That's on their contract.
Well, then it says voluntary deductions may be made upon written authorization of the employee. So that would cover that.
I think that would be your, like people who
HSA.
go for deferred comp,
Oh,
yeah, HSA, additional life insurance, those are all voluntary.
Alright,
Some people opt for claiming less exemptions than they're entitled to too. That's,
Yep, like on their W-2.
right.
Mhm.
Do we need to state something in case Friday is a holiday?
We have not had a problem with that.
I have not.
With the-
Okay,
We submitted far enough ahead of time that it still processes.
okay,
People wasn't having run into that.
okay.
If it ends on a Friday or if it's a holiday.
Oh,
If
okay.
I- Yeah, we
All right.
haven't had that issue.
so you wanna add WRS?
Mhm.
Anybody do that?
Bless you.
Okay, add that.
Yep.
Separation, from employment. Separation of employment, we're gonna leave the first paragraph as is. Resignation, we're gonna strike resign, voluntary, then we're just make voluntary employment termination initiated by the employee within good standing within the city. And that was by the lawyer's request, right?
Yep.
All right, so we're just striking the word or resign. So it's resignation. And that was it. And then voluntary goes on. Termination, we're striking involuntary. Same concept and just putting in involuntary employment termination,
Just redundancy, right?
right?
Mhm.
Layoffs, same thing, striking involuntary and no discrimination. And putting budget or financial reasons. Retirement, same thing, striking retirement or ceasing, and just putting ceasing all employment. And then the next paragraph, he wants to add, following a separation, following the separation from employment, employee will be paid unused vacation accrued from their anniversary date in the current year.
You probably want to update that verbiage because vacations are loaded on the first of the year, not on anniversary dates.
Yeah, because it says accrued.
Mhm.
So they accrue it? Or is it-
No, it would be vacation provided on the first of the year. We don't have the PTO system, so it's not necessarily accrued.
Do we want to say something about that it's prorated for the first year or something?
Well, as the employee handbook currently stands, there is no vacation for the first year. Those who do get it, it tends to be negotiated and then that paying back if they resign within the first year or terminated within the first year, that's usually part of the offer that we've extended. So unless we change the vacation schedule, I don't think we would need to add prorated for the first of the year because it's not standard provided.
Okay.
did we have in there how a time limit when we would have to pay that out? Did we used to have that in there?
We do have verbiage in there that explains with the payout, how it goes to personnel committee. So, what we've done, we've just explained to employees that have given notice that, okay, the next personnel meeting is this date, that's when they'll
Okay.
discuss your payout, and it'll come after that.
All right,
So we keep them informed on that. The only other thing I wanted to suggest that I've seen in some other municipality handbooks is For that separation payout of vacation, they set parameters in that you have to leave in good standing. So what that means is that you're not fired. And it also means that a standard full-time employee gives 2 weeks' notice. A department head gives 30-day notice to give the municipality adequate time to get someone else in the seat. They also can't give 2 weeks' notice and use 2 weeks of vacation.
Right.
So to leave in good standing and get their payout, you know, they need to give us adequate notice and not be terminated from us.
Does this clean up some of that confusion we had with some of those enormous payouts that were planned and we didn't know they were planning them?
I think part of it, I think the other part of some of those large payouts lies in the fact that there was not good oversight on comp and flex time use, which
Okay.
has not been a present issue.
So to go with the good standing portion, would that be under this, section 3 or would it be under a different section?
I would put it under section 3.3 here, where we're talking about following separation from employment and employees will be paid unused vacation. And that's where you could add verbiage pertaining to leaving in good standing. 2 weeks' notice for standard full-time employee, 30 days for department head. It's what I've seen with a lot of municipalities. And that gives you guys adequate time, especially with department heads, to plan, to post, to interview, and not have too much of a lapse.
Right, I understand, but we might have to run that by the attorney because I think there is some legalities about vacation.
Okay,
So you might want to run that by the attorney.
okay.
Now, if it's paying out their sick time, that's a little bit different.
Do you think it makes a difference that it's vacation time versus PTO? Because PTO is earned, vacation
Yeah,
is
that's
given.
exactly what it is. It's accrued. So like, we did this in our contract, it's now, the company switched it, so it's accrued time. So every month I accrue so much time.
Mhm.
But if I leave, you know, and I earn, let's say I earned 3 days, right? Well, that 3 days up to that point, I get, right? If anything beyond that, I don't.
Correct.
That's why they went this accrued time.
Mhm.
'Cause we used to just get paid like the first year,
Mhm.
a set amount. And then if we left in the middle of the year, we'd get that whole amount.
Mhm.
Then we changed it. It wasn't for my benefit. So they changed it to benefit them, and that's, so there is some legality about vacation time.
Okay.
What about the prickly comp time thing? Do we still have an issue with that?
No, the department heads are under instructions, they gotta use their comp time in the first 2 weeks when they build it up.
Yeah, so flex time would be for your department heads because
Okay.
they're salaried. The comp time for regular full-time hourly employees, there is a banked limit on that too.
Okay. So that doesn't need to be addressed any, because we were, what do you call it?
We paid out 3 months of comp time, right?
Yeah, we were hornswoggled by a couple of people who planned the whole thing out.
Sure.
They made more, some of them are in Florida right now.
And I think the verbiage stands in the handbook pertaining to comp time, if I remember correctly. I think it was more a problem of oversight in-house during that time.
Okay.
All right, well, why don't you check with the attorney on that and then we'll come back. Is that all on 3?
3.3, there's the second page where it starts touching on sick time a little. The attorneys did note that there's some contradictions between the 2 paragraphs there. And looking at it, since sick time payout is well enumerated in the initial paragraph, it could probably be struck from the paragraph pertaining to retirement and disability, because we already have it enumerated. I think it was just a clear up thing. And they also wanted to know if you wanted to keep the percentages
We have 60, the 68, 74, and 80.
Because they said there was the Act 10 in 2011, and I think that's what they're referring to here with if this is post 2011, do you really want it to be 80%? If it's pre-Act 10, that was the schedule to pay out sick time. But you're not beholden to it because
Right,
of
well,
Act 10.
When they put, I wasn't here, but I remember this because it was just after I came on, they did this. So if you did that, you'd have to do the exact same thing as what we had before, right? People that were hired from today's date forward would get the new percentages, and people from this time, they're already employed, would get the current percentage.
I remember that, yes.
Do we even have anybody anymore?
Yeah, we got a couple.
About
do we?
3.
Okay.
So that may be something we want to think about some more.
I would.
Okay, well, let's come back to this section then.
Okay.
And then direct deposit, that's no changes.
The only thing I do there is because we now have my pay stubs are sent electronically. So we would want to strike the verbiage that says they're mailed. We just wanted to update it to indicate pay stubs are provided electronically. Right, yep.
Okay, yep, and then we'll come back to the rest. How big is section 4?
Section 4 isn't bad.
You want to continue? Who's the chair? Molly, you want to continue?
Sure, let's do it.
All right. Reimbursement for job expenses. Was there anything there? No.
I didn't have anything for 4.1 or 4.2.
Education reimbursement. Lawyer just had one word strike that says meant. He just strike that. Then he added in order to be eligible for reimbursement. And it says where the note was.
So what kind of reimbursement would apply for employee reimbursement?
If
Other
you-
than mileage?
Education reimbursement?
That's important.
Travel, they stay at a hotel or something.
Well, it says direct training, right? The training and that relates directly to their current job skills needed to perform the work. The city may have all costs associated with this type of training will be covered at 100% by the city, and prepayment for the cost will be made. The utility will reimburse the water, wastewater utility employees for passing the DNR license exams, degree programs, courses as accredited schools that can be applied towards some type of certificate or degree are eligible for this type of assistance, provided that the degree or certification is related to your job functions and within budget guidelines. Employees are eligible after 1 year of service. The eligible costs for this education are direct courses, tuition fee, expenses. So it has to be related to your job performance or job, right?
I'd like to keep that.
Yeah, and I think we very rarely see section C. That's a lot of times someone will go back for a master's or something like
Right.
that. It's well budgeted ahead of time. Things
Okay.
like that, but it's not terribly common.
If it's a clerk or a comptroller going to something, some special thing, generally it comes before the council and they lay out where they're going and
Mhm.
where they're staying, and the council approves it.
Yep, like part of the term of my hire was that I got my
Yeah,
certification, so it's the
right.
UW Green Bay
Yeah.
Clerks Institute.
Right.
But that's,
We have a training budget too.
yeah, and it's far more truncated than like someone going back for their master's.
Then he also has in here that in addition, if the employee voluntarily resigns his or her position within the city or with the city within 3 years, this is where he adds,
Wow.
within 3 years of payment or within 3 years of any payment, then he's got a proration that's been in place.
Okay, a proration. they don't give it all back. They,
If the employee volunteer resigns within 2 years from the date of the payment, he gets 85%. If the employee volunteer resigns within 3 years, it's 65%. And it goes on to the next page. He's got a change on lodging allowance, says all in-house charges, and then he puts except permitted for food shall be at the expense of the employee. And then, the next line's fine. The next line, he says, upon confirmation of lodging, the department head must submit the confirmation to the comptroller treasurer with the amount of the lodging request, so a check can be cut, to be taken with the employees for payment of lodging.
So with lodging, I would strike the verbiage pertaining to checks. Most hotels aren't going to take them. And each department has their own credit card, and that's typically how lodging is paid for. Same when it comes with an advance for conferences. I had spoken to Nicole about this. Again, most take their department credit card or they return with receipts to get reimbursed. Giving advances would make the accounting very difficult if we just gave them their per diem ahead of
Right.
time.
That sounds good to me.
and we still get to audit the credit card bills to make sure that they're not.
Right, the city department, it says the city department credit card should be used to reserve the reservation and should not be taken with the employee to the conference.
I believe most have, especially because most hotels are not going to take a check. I think it's just outdated verbiage.
So we want to update that then?
Mhm.
Okay. Everybody good with that?
I am.
Okay.
And the credit card bills go through our normal audit bill approval account.
Absolutely.
So,
Yep, there is oversight there. And, we have our front of house ladies trained very well. We're not paying it on the credit card if you're not showing a receipt. So,
Okay, so we good with the rest of that paragraph then? I don't see no notes.
I am.
See, I don't see nothing else from the attorney.
mhm.
All right, 28. On 4.4, city vehicle usage. The city vehicles for employee travel is at the discretion of the department head. Any employee authorized, this is where he adds, any employee authorized to use the city vehicle for work purposes must have a valid driver's license and a clean driving record.
Do we want a copy of that driver's license hosted at City Hall if they're driving city vehicles?
We should already have that on file,
For their I-9s.
With the I-9s? Okay.
right? The mileage reimbursement that stays the same. Work hours, he's got, who sets hours for City Hall? It says the normal work week is Monday through Friday with the hours to be determined by the department head according to the needs of the other factors. Who sets the hours for City Hall?
Oh, we're in section 5. I'm sorry, going back to 4, the reimbursements. Do you want them signed off by the mayor for the ones that go off to different commissions like utilities or library?
As far as the department head,
Mhm.
I would think the
For
mayor.
reimbursement?
Okay. All right, working hours, department, it says who sets the hours for City Hall? I would say that City Hall hours have not changed in 30 years. So
We could just update it to add in the 8 AM to 4:30 PM.
Okay. attendance. He's got added employees who find they will be unable to report to work on time, unable to report for the full day, must inform their immediate supervisor at the earliest opportunity. And then he adds, but no later than the start of their shift or workday. But no later than the start of their shift or workday. So you gotta call in before the start of your shift or workday. That's what he's adding. Right?
Yeah.
And department heads are notified that they're supposed to call Nicole if they're sick as well, so she can record it.
Payroll purposes.
Appointments, no changes. And that's probably a good place where we can stop. So we're stopping at 5.4 on overtime compensation. He's got all kinds of changes.
Yes, it does.
All right,
Okay. 4B, discuss with possible recommendation the creation of a weekend incentive pay.
So this was brought up in November. It was brought up from the former administrator to create a weekend incentive pay. Discussion was had in November that overtime or incentive pay could be handled through addressing the employee handbook if you felt the need to do so. And at that time was tabled to January. So I don't know if we want to leave this on there for any reason, just keep clipping with the handbook. It's really up to you guys.
Well, we're getting into
Yeah, I was just gonna
overtime
say,
pay,
why don't
incentive
we
pay,
wait
aren't we?
to see what happened, what the handbook currently says, and then we can discuss it as we go.
Okay,
Everybody agree?
so we'll move it on to February.
Otherwise, we're just beating it with a hammer.
We're getting to everybody.
Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn at 7:24.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Was it for a string?
Yeah, I wanted to know.